everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here today to just talk a little bit about some January plans, new video series, new projects that are coming up for January, and just some other stuff, kind of like my weekly wrap-up videos, but more of like a bit of a pre-planning announcements kind of video. So first things first, I've decided that I'm going to take part in the journey, Roxy's journey of stitching from Roxy's Creations. I will link below this challenge. It's a stitching challenge for 2022. So basically we're creating a book of stitches. So I've got a little bit of a start here. I'll just lay down what my start is. And talk to you a little bit about what I'm going to do. So yesterday was kind of the official kickoff of a sampler that both Rachel and Sarah of Roxy's Creations are hosting. So I will link their channels below as mentioned. So these are the first 5 stitches that we were shown yesterday by Sarah on her channel. So I've got those done, and today I'm going to work on the other 5 that Rachel completed as well. But let me just tell you a little bit about my whole overall plan. So the book I've chosen actually is quite a large one that will be the basis for my stitch book. I feel confident that with we have 1 month to do a whole block, and I think I will have lots of time because I've really learned that doing your stitching in kind of your downtime, like time that you spend in the car in front of, as a passenger, clearly, or in front of the TV or waiting for things, doctor's offices, whatever. Just think of it as a carry-along kind of project. So with a small block, that's very easy to do. So this is the book I'm using. I've already removed the insides. This is just about a 1.5 inch spine. I know that Rachel has recommended that's the minimum spine. I think I'll be fine. I really do. I don't think that I'm going to be going super bulky on these anyways, so I think it's going to be just fine. And I'm also not going to be upset if my book is a little bit, chunky. That's fine. I like a chunky book. So I've already gotten a start on the cover. I'm going to be doing a hard cover with a soft covering. So here is my progress so far. This is actually a pillowcase. Well, it started out that way. It was the top of a pillowcase, and I cut off the pillowcase. It was cotton, and I just started doing some embroidery. So the way that I'm going to do this is I chose the pillowcase because I can actually slip my whole book inside of it, tuck it in, and it's like a pouch. So my book's inside there now. I'm just going to have to stitch it closed once, I'm ready to go. And then it will be like this. So yeah. Now I'm not going to bind the fabric pages inside the book until I'm finished, probably at the very end of the project. I see some people are binding them, and that's fine. I just imagine myself having a very clumsy time attaching my blocks to the pages when they're already bound. So I'm not going to stress myself out with that. So let me tell you just a little bit about the piece. So this pink stuff, this pink fabric with these flowers was actually an embroidery that I started to do a couple of years ago. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm still recovering from this cold. I had started to just embroider over the existing flowers on the fabric. You can probably see under my slow stitching here that there's flowers on this fabric. So I basically just use them as the lines to embroider on top of. So I have attached 3 pieces here. I do have some more of this that are in pieces that I cut out from I had it in a hoop and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I think I initially had decided that I would hang it on the wall. You okay over there, Toasty? Sorry, he's sneezing. I think he got a little something in his nose. But yeah, I think I initially thought I would have it as like a wall piece or something, but I just don't need more wall art. My house is like an art gallery already, and right now I'm trying to sort of downsize. So I do have a couple more pieces. So this one I just embroidered the inside of the flower, and this is like a little cluster of different little flowers. So I think I've got enough of this piece though on here. So these I will just put, you know, somewhere else, probably in this book. I'm not done with this piece, I should mention. I still have a lot more to go. In fact, I'm in the middle of stitching down this leaf, and then I have this one to go, and then I will be doing more after that as well. So the base for this I added, this is like a vintage doily that had this beautiful floral embroidery on it. So I added that because I love it. I should mention, this is very white. I'm going to tea dye this whole thing after I'm done with it, and so that'll give it kind of this color to what's white here. So this is actually a vintage embroidery that I found with a whole collection of vintage children's themed embroideries, and I love this so much. I love the way the pants have these tiny cross stitches and these little French knots. I love this. Everything about it is so nice, and I feel like this is kind of like her magical garden, right? So I also embroidered these mushrooms. So first of all, I used a red polka dot fabric, and then I added French knots to just kind of give them that more toadstool feel. And then I just back stitched the stems. And then this one I added a yo-yo underneath, sort of like it was maybe a mushroom from the top, and you could sort of see some of the gills underneath. Then I added some blue, just beautiful lace, and did some yellow cross stitches on it. Added a little bit of this pretty floral fabric, and of course this sequined applique from a wedding dress. I've done some slow stitching here and there over the edges of things, and down here a little bit of lace that I've done some French knots and slow stitching. I've added some vintage tatting here, and over here just this beautiful lace and some more lace up here. So yeah, this is coming along and I'm pretty happy. I haven't done anything with this yet. I think probably I will attach like a cover page. I think I want to have like a cover page that does say like Journey of Stitching inside. So the first 5 stitches that were introduced by Sarah yesterday, I've just been putting them on these cute little tags. I don't know, I may I'm probably going to make a page where I stitch the text of what each one is. We'll see how that goes. I might not, it might be too time consuming, but basically we have 3 rows of running stitch, a row of whipped running stitch, a row of back stitch, a row of stem stitch, and a row of split stitch. So that's what I've completed so far. I think there will be 2 panels for this. I guess it depends on how much space you take up with each of your stitches, how many lines you choose to do. I'm going to be working on the other ones today. So that being said, I know Rachel and Sarah are both doing like videos where they're stitching on camera and they're talking about this challenge. I have kind of a twofold different plan. So I don't know that I would do just a stitching video and talk during my stitching, because like I don't know that I will keep the dialogue up very well. I mean, maybe I can, we'll see. Sometimes I'm a bit of a jabberjaw and other times not so much. But I have had this plan for a very long time that I wanted to do sort of like a storytelling or a story reading kind of video with a few fun elements. And so I've decided to sort of combine my journey of stitching along with that storytelling concept. So what I am launching in January will be this. The first of a seasonal storytelling kind of series that will, I don't know what the schedule is going to be quite yet, but I'm working on that. It will have a schedule. It will be 1 day a week where, you know, I do some portion of this at least. It could even be 2 days. We'll see. So the author that I am going to be choosing, it's a public domain series of seasonal stories. So I'm starting with winter because we're in winter right now here in Canada. And it's Winter by Dallas Lore Sharp, who was an author from Haleyville, New Jersey, and he lived from 1870 to 1929. And so I'm going to start by giving an introduction to the story. He wrote this really beautiful introduction to winter and sort of how he feels about winter. So look for that series coming up in January. I'd recommend what you do maybe when you're watching or listening to the video is just get something crafty and just listen to the story because it's beautiful. I will be probably working on stitching the whole time. I may be doing some other things, but I haven't yet decided. So the sort of main focus of it will be the storytelling, but I may be doing stitching, I may be doing paper crafting, but I won't be talking. I will just be reading this story. It will be a voiceover probably, because I don't pretend to be able to do two things at once. So yeah, that's the plan. So that will be one thing that I'm doing. I'm also going to be starting the Marguerite Miller challenge for next year. So I'll be doing this Marguerite Miller collage weekly planner probably once a week. So I definitely think that that'll be a lot of fun. And I really just need to start like using a planner again. I think since the beginning of the pandemic, I just got out of using a planner because like a lot of things became sort of sedentary or not happening at all, or I don't know, things were just too infrequent. But you know, these days I actually do have quite a few things going on in terms of this channel, my work, and my kids and whatnot. So it will help me again to just have this little thing. And I would like to kind of be able to, you know, just know what I'm doing each week a little bit more. Not in huge detail. I don't keep a bullet journal or any of that anymore. I used to, but it's just, it becomes too much. I do it for maybe half the year and then I burn out. So this I think will be good because I will incorporate it into a video series. I will ahead of time have everything planned before I begin these videos, so they should flow well. They won't be sort of like me, you know, kerfuffling around my studio looking for things. So yeah, look for that as well. And then I have a bunch of other ideas. So tutorial videos, lots of other things going on, but that's just the general basis of what I will be doing in addition to, you know, journal videos, taking part in other challenges and things, because I really do enjoy the community spirit of that. I'm really loving the Defemember series, and I'm so happy that it's bringing so much of the community together in the journaling, you know, and the stitching communities actually on YouTube. So yeah, so that's my spiel for today and my little, hey, here's what's coming. So I look forward to having you around, and leave me a little comment. Let me know your thoughts. Is there anything that you'd like to see next year? You'd like to see certain, you know, YouTubers, sorry, that's my alarm, certain YouTubers do, or people, you know, show a tutorial or whatnot. I have a few things that people have suggested to me that I'm going to work on. So yeah. That's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. You can find links to a few things that I mentioned down below in the description box, as well as my social media information, my shop information, and I will be back soon with something new. So don't forget to subscribe and have a great day. Bye for now.